Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athlete.
Yeah.
Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
Better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world, live here at the Austin BLPA Bash Championship Sunday, I might add. No Jason today. Jason doesn't come to the bashes. He hates team tournaments, by the way, because he says he always gets smoked, even though they almost went to the championship game. Did they go to the championship gaming? I don't know. He did. He at least won one in Columbus. But that's because Columbus is the land where all dreams come true. Johnny Gaudreau went there because he wants his dreams to come true. But no Jason means Jeff Peck in the house. Yep, that Jeff Peck. Jeff Peck, what's going on?
What's up? Glad to be here.
Well, Jeff Peck, let me tell you what's up. We're in Championship Sunday. We're actually we're on a mezzanine overlooking the Benders Championship Division. Right now we have first place, I believe, I can't remember who they're playing. It's Menace and I believe Bandits. Don't quote me on that. I don't have the things right in front of me, but I know that the team that was undefeated in pool play is right now getting beat 2-0 in the second period with 8 minutes left. So we got an upset brewing right here on the podcast, live on the podcast. So stay tuned. We'll keep you updated if anything happens. You'll probably hear cheers and stuff if it does. But Jeff, we got a quite the tournament weekend we've had here. We're going to talk about that.
Yep.
We got a story about how Jack Campbell helped a dude get engaged. That's going to come on later.
Right.
But before we go there, I just want to say this show is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. HockeyWolf.com. Beer leaguers just like you and me, trying to make the sport cheaper and more affordable for all of us. So if you need any gear, if you need any team stuff, jerseys, any of that stuff, you need to go check out HockeyWolf.com.
My bad. Ooh.
Thank you. God.
I always forget about the second one.
You gotta
always forget about the second one.
That's people aren't expecting either, so I hit them with the second one so they know.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, you got to let them know.
You can find us on every social media channel, the BLPA, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, fucking Pinterest, all of them. You can find us there.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. We got some fire content coming on OnlyFans if you like hockey feet. So check that out. But I digress. Why don't you tell folks? Here's the deal. Jeff Peck came down to Austin, all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Drove the trailer, and he got here and he wasn't even going to play. But then he played. Why don't you tell people about your experience playing here in Austin?
Well, I mean, Austin's always a great time. Like I was just telling Joe a little while ago, when we first came down here, this place was pretty much just the hockey rink at the time. I think maybe they had the soccer fields going, the indoor ones anyways, and maybe a couple other things like the massage parlor or whatever over there.
Massage parlor? Are
they
giving happy endings over there?
Like the family health place or whatever that's down there where they give massages.
Hold on,
and stuff.
Wait a second. Did you get over there and get a happy ending or what?
No, I didn't. And then I think even right below us there used to be like a IV bar or something like that where you can get the hangover crap and all that stuff. But I mean, you come here now, there's batting cages, there's a restaurant and bar, there's an esports lounge, which my son has been in there for the past 2 days. I went outside to get something from the food truck the other day, and there's probably about 200 people out there just partying and playing tennis and volleyball and all sorts of things out there. I mean, this facility is awesome, and there's a real sweet city to come to play some hockey.
Well, listen, it's going to happen. Like we started with the BLPA Fest this year, and then we turned it into a bash because we didn't get any hockey, soccer. But now that we're back and the outdoor thing is where it's at, we can do it now. I think we can have live bands out there. We can have a volleyball tournament out there. We can have a soccer tournament, and we can have the hockey going on. So I think next year we got a plan to finally get it back in now that they have the stage and everything here. And you're right. This facility is second to none when it comes. I mean, it's new. The ice is nice. It's cold as fuck in here.
It is cold.
And we're in South Texas where it's 100 degrees. 100. That's how hot it is.
And we're wearing hoodies
right now. Yeah, literally, I've been freezing my balls off, and I literally have to go and if anyone buys any of these hoodies, you could probably get game worn merch from the commish because I just have this hoodie. I throw it back in because I just need something to warm the old bones for a second, you know. But I'm trying on smalls. I'm trying on mediums, larges. The smalls and mediums don't fit, but I try them on anyway. So you're gonna get a little room in there if you get those. So it is a great facility, and like I said, the food trucks are out there. The esports bar. I played in a little Call of Duty Warzone last year. I'm gonna be honest with you. I killed a lot of people with a rocket launcher in Call of Duty in this esports bar. So it's a great time. I love Austin. We'll be back for the decks in October.
Yep.
So super stoked about that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's just been a fun weekend. I don't know if I would say electric. It's hard for it to be an electric weekend when I am not playing, right? Because really I'm so busy at these things. Like that's one of the reasons why I can't play because there's just so much shit for me to do: photos, video, check in people, try to talk to people, and do merch. We had a fire-ass taco bar in here last night.
Oh, yeah, those
and
are good.
Like basically build your own buffet. Like we fed them. And here's something that I want to give a shout out to Austin for. Usually we supply beer, all you can eat beer on Saturday, or all you can drink beer. Sorry, you can eat it too, I guess if you want to. And we always have to take a shit ton of beer home, a shit ton. Mm-hmm. Not this time.
Nope, they drank it all.
They wanted more, and I'm like, but it's 11 o'clock at night. I can't just go out and buy more cases of beer. Like it's sorry, you're cut off. So shout out to Austin, Texas for doing that.
Yeah, even Columbus, our biggest supporting city. I mean, we came in there with a pallet of beer, and they cracked all them jokes about, what's that just for the first half of the day, and I mean, how many cases did we come out of Columbus with at the end of the weekend?
Yeah, it's crazy. Sorry, I'm just getting a text message here. But anyway, okay, sorry, I'll have to cut that out. I just had a little mess going on.
Well, but come on, you're not editing shit. We all know that.
No, I sometimes you have to edit. I mean, listen, it's the nature of the beast. I do hate editing. I would rather just let it roll. Let the real thing come. Like, 'cause whatever you say is what you're where you're at in that moment.
I agree.
But sometimes you have to because people say dumb things and you can't have that kind of stuff out. But other than that, what's on your mind today, Peck? Like, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just kind of thinking of I guess what's next. We got OKC coming up. What's that in 2 weeks?
2 weeks. Oakley back home, and I have my boys here actually. Gladiators.
That's what I played for. Yeah.
Got fucking worked.
Yeah.
And listen, hey, to be fair, we don't like people getting worked, but when you register for the tournament like 3 weeks before, and there's only one open spot, like you take it, right?
Yeah.
And they had more players, but they only brought 7 players down. Like, what are you going to do with 7 players?
Yeah.
You're either going to get worked or you're going to work over a team in a division you shouldn't be in because you got to have a break. And if you can skate Ironman and work people, you're probably in the wrong division.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So I think I watched Oklahoma, the Gladiators, which, by the way, a team I started a long time ago in Oklahoma.
I heard.
Still going strong, bud.
I did hear that.
Still going strong. Love those guys. They're going to be in. Most of them are going to be in Oklahoma City, so I can't wait. I love going back to Oklahoma City just because. That's home. That's where I started,
right.
And so it's always nice to go back home. My little guy gets to go down there, see Nana and Papa, do a little swimming in the pool while Daddy's working, and so it's just going to be a great weekend. Then after that, I mean, we're in the middle of being off to the races here because it's Oklahoma City, Alaska, and then after Alaska is Nashville, and then after Nashville is Buffalo to Columbus to Eagle River to DC to Charleston to Minnesota, Minnesota to Austin, Texas, and then you get a couple-week break, and then Beer League World Championships. One of these teams might be going right here that we're watching. Right now it's looking like the black team.
Oh, they're certainly getting the invite.
Well, something's happening. So, I mean, we got some drama unfolding on the ice. Refs are in there giving penalties. Teams are standing around staring at each other, looking at each other, mean mugging. This is what I like.
This was a close game yesterday too, wasn't it? This was a 3-2 game yesterday.
Now it's a 2-1 game. So I mean, we're situated for fireworks, and we're on the perfect perch, overlooking the rink, watching these guys. And listen, I don't want anything bad to happen, but what I do want to see is an exciting game. And here's the ladies that brought us tacos yesterday. So, but anyway, I think there might be still tortillas in there.
We're gonna have to edit this out.
Yeah, we might have to edit that out. But we did have a lot of tacos. And listen, hey, they ate all the meat, but they only ate half the tortillas, which is insane, right? So, they were good tacos. Yeah. We also had, believe me, hey, and listen, you guys know sometimes when you come to draft range parties, We do them outside, and we do provide some food sometimes. And Jeff Peck really likes to bring in Little Caesars.
Oh,
And Little Caesars because it's 5. Hold on 1 second. Thank you guys very much. We really appreciate it. Yeah, people loved them. The tacos were incredible.
Very good.
Yeah, and so I tried to share your stuff and tell them where they could find you. So hopefully those people will come over to you. All right, thank you guys very much. Taco May is what they're called, and they were really good.
Okay.
But anyway, so Jeff Peck likes to bring in Little Caesars pizza. It's probably some of his favorite pizza in the whole world. He really loves that crazy bread. But I said, listen, no expense spared for these boys. We're going to do a pizza, but we're not going to do Little C's. We're going to do Papa John's. And they fucking killed it, bud.
But you know what? I'm not a fan of like them fast food pizzas like Pizza Hut and Papa John's and Little C's.
Oh, you love Little Caesars, bud.
I will admit that whatever the fuck you ordered from Papa John's this weekend was actually pretty decent.
But that's not fast food pizza. That's made fresh. It literally says Papa John's made fresh. Peyton Manning, bud. Come on.
But well, I mean,
you think Peyton Manning's going to serve, after all those years of throwing all them goddamn touchdowns, you think this motherfucker's going to serve shitty-ass pizza? No. He's going to use real fresh ingredients. He's going to get them to you hot, and you're going to love it. That's the hallmark of Peyton Manning, and guess what? He's right.
It was good. It was good. I'll give him that. But, on the Dave Portnoy scale, I think it was only like a 2.8. So,
listen, with all due respect, fuck Dave Portnoy, all right? With all due respect, I don't understand his scale. I've had pizza that he said was like 2s, and it's 10s for sure. Yeah, like Papa John's. So
okay.
Listen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we all have. Everybody likes their own. He likes a specific style. He likes that.
Me too.
That thin.
That's me too.
Thin and floppy and greasy.
Oh, I don't like floppy. I like it thin, a little crispy, and I like it can have minimal cheese, but as long as it has lots of pepperonis, I'm good.
Well, he's always I think he's got a couple different. He's got like his football pizza that he calls it, and then something, I don't know, his whatever the fuck.
To be frank, I don't watch much Barstool content anymore, but I don't need people going and saying, "Oh, the commissioner of the BLPA said fuck Dave Portnoy." I don't need that. I don't need that.
We'll have to edit that out.
Hey, no, I'm not going to edit it out, but I don't need that drama in my life right now. I got too much drama in my life right now. I don't need it, and but at the end of the day, like, people like what people like.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And people love Papa John's.
I mean, I guess they do.
You did. You're fucking mouthing on it, bud.
I mean, I had 2 slices. Yeah.
Hey, did you dip any of that in that crust and that garlic?
I was gonna, but then I thought it would be too messy, so I didn't.
Way.
Good.
Oh, goddamn, bud.
Game changer.
But game changer. It's been like that for years.
Is that a life-changing sauce right there, or what?
No, it's not life-changing sauce, but it'll make your fucking taste buds happy.
Okay.
And it made mine happy, and you saw, literally, I just only took the crust. Like, because I'm having the stomach problems.
Well, I actually didn't see that.
So I literally only took the crust and left the toppings and just dipped the crust in the garlic sauce. And someone's like, that's a weird way to eat pizza. I'm like, listen, bud, I'm 40. I'm a man. I'm 40, and I have to eat weird now.
So these fresh, hot toppings that you just made a big deal out of, you took them off the pizza, is what you're telling me.
Another thing that I do is when I get full and I'm I'll just take the cheese and the pepperonis and eat that and leave the rest of the stuff, bud.
But fucking something about pizza like pepperoni that goes on pizza after it gets cooked and shit. It's a game changer.
Hey,
so much better than just like your standard pepperoni. But
when I was doing keto diet, this is no bullshit. I did a keto for a while. I lost like 30 pounds on it. But
eating a lot of pepperonis, were you?
But here's what you do: you get a baking sheet rack, and then you put like some wax paper on it, and you lay these pepperonis out, and you put them in the oven. And they'll curl up like little cups.
Ooh, when they
with
curl
the grease
up.
in. Now, then you pull it out like right before they're done, maybe a couple minutes before they're done. Parmesan cheese all over them. And then you slide them back in the oven, let them cook. And then you're basically eating pepperoni chips because they're crispy.
Yeah,
crispy peps are where it's at, bud.
That
crispy peps
sounds good. I'm gonna have to
fire.
do that.
But it's fire, bud.
I'm gonna have to try it.
And you don't got to be on keto to do it, but it's just it was all carbs and fat.
Yeah.
But man, it was fire. Look at this little guy just walking over here. Hey, little buddy. Look at me, just man with people, waving to babies, kissing babies, shaking hands. You know what I'm talking. So, but nonetheless, so Papa John's was fire. Oh, we got an injury. We got a guy down on the ice. That you never want to see that in a close game.
He's crawling.
He's crawling
off.
over. That's no good. You know what we should do sometime? We should set me up like over here, me and you, and we just do like a play-by-play.
Let's do it.
We'll do that. The BLPA play-by-play. Yeah. And then and here's what we're not actually going to tell you what's happening on the game. We're just going to talk shit about everybody. We're just going to, this motherfucker just fucking falling down, flopping around. He thinks he's somebody, winds up for a slap shot and puts a 10-mile-an-hour knuckler on the goalie. Way to go, bud. So that could be some
Yeah,
content
hey, I'm
in the
with it.
future, right? So
I'm with it.
all right. Anything else that we want to talk about in the first half? Because I got to go award a medal here pretty soon. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this half of the show, and then we're gonna cut in the interview you did with Joe
Right.
about how a famous goalie helped get somebody hitched.
That's a good story.
We'll do that, and then we'll do the last half. So anything before the second half of the show?
No, I don't think so.
Why do you wear socks with slides? Like, why is that the thing?
Because it's more comfortable.
Why?
Well, I mean, one, it's extra padding, and two, I don't get like the blisters and shit around like the strap here and shit.
But I don't like socks in general. Like,
No?
look, I would
Well, I mean,
listen. Okay, I don't know if it considers like white trash, but like when I was a little kid, I'd fucking go to the supermarket, no shoes, no socks, and just walk around there. You go in the fucking frozen food
Yeah.
aisle, and you can just hear clap, 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 because I'm on
Yeah.
the tile. But I would not wear shoes and socks at all if I could.
I mean, you're also wearing something different though. Like those wearing those without socks is a little different than these.
No, but in general, like even slides, I would just
do you wear
shoes.
socks when you're wearing sneakers, or
I don't want to, but the only reason I would wear them with sneakers is because then I sweat and it makes the sneakers smell. But I don't like, but I wear socks in my skates, of course.
Yeah.
But I just don't like wearing socks on the reg.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Okay,
not just.
okay.
You know?
Well, I mean, if you're just not a sock guy, then that makes sense for you to think that's weird. But I mean, it's just I don't know. I can't really describe it. It's just more comfortable. That's all.
I'm just curious. I mean, I'm just curious. I'm a man.
I just personally find it more comfortable than without socks. That's all.
I'm a man of style, and I'm just wondering what the style is.
But I give zero fucks about style. It's whatever's comfortable, and this is comfortable.
Well, maybe just comfortable is your style, bud.
Yeah.
So apparently you do give fucks about style.
Okay, I can see that comfort. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we come back, we're gonna throw off this interview. When we come back, though, hopefully we'll have a winner to tell you about. I know for sure we will. We'll have at least one winner to tell you about, and then
Here's Brad Dwin.
Oh boy, here he comes. But then we're gonna get you in a segment. It's called Betting with Your Heart. I know you're a gambler.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna do it's a new segment me and Jason start where we just make bets on our heart, not the smart bets,
Right.
the heart bets, and then we
Right.
actually put money on it, and then we see if we win.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we cut out, I actually do have something quick to add in here. So Brad Dwin just walked in, and this reminded me of this. What was it yesterday that we said? That he said, and just like with the best team in Dex history, he tried hitting us with. That's not what I said. I never said that.
Brad Dwin. Someone asked him to play in the Benders division. And here he hears his name. He's like, whoop, whoop, here, what says it? He says, someone asked to play in the Benders division, and I'm like, I'm him and Han. He's like, I'm too good for the Benders division. And I was like, you know what? You go ahead and play, Brad. Go ahead and play. And, if you score a bunch of goals, I'm just going to reprimand you and whatever. Brad Dwin did not score a bunch of goals. He scored one.
You didn't score a bunch, he said.
He scored one goal, but he just said he's just here now saying that he had points in every single game. And then when we hit him with
Humble brag.
When we hit him with it, you only scored one goal in 2 games in the Bender division. I thought you were too good for this division. He hit us with
I never said that.
So just saying. And listen, I had a good chat with Brad. Brad's a great guy, and I just want to let everyone know when we chirp Brad to win. 1, it's hilarious.
It is.
But 2, it's out of love. Like, we actually really like Brad to win. Like, we do.
Yeah.
This is on record, Brad. Like, this is a podcast on record. He's standing right here, so he hears it, and it's on record. And I just want, sometimes we pour it on pretty thick, right?
Yep.
And, listen, I'm speaking for me and you.
Yep.
And most of the BLPA outside of Big Dad.
Absolutely.
Big Dad has his own thing. I know he likes Brad to win, too. But Big Dad goes to a different level sometimes.
I've told Brad that it's when we stop chirping him that he has to start to worry.
Yeah. So, if we did this, oh, Brad Dwin's here.
Yeah.
That's when we have to win.
Oh boy.
But no, we do love Brad, and Brad came all the way from Maryland to represent BOPA in Austin.
Yep. Big supporter.
I mean, I don't think he won a game, but he won one game. One game with the Benders, right? Yeah, one game with the Benders. But unless you're not going to be in Oklahoma City, or you are. No Oklahoma City. Are you going to be? You're not going to be in Alaska. Nashville's the next one. So then he's going Nashville and in Buffalo, or no?
Have you broken the news to Big Dad yet that you won't be in Columbus anymore? All right. Big Dad Brad Dwin is not coming to Columbus anymore.
He's not coming to Buffalo or Columbus, and basically what he's saying, Big Dad, is he doesn't want to embarrass you if you play a net, is what he's saying to you. Because to be fair, Peck did embarrass Big Dad. Went over and just blew his spot up. But I don't know if you know this, but I was standing on the bench and I said, "God damn, he's about to blow his spot up." And then he blew that spot right up. And then Big Dad did make a couple saves, but he's got all those goddamn pads. Like he's acting like, "Oh, I saved a puck." Yeah, goddamn, bud. Look at all those pads you have on it.
Right.
Of course,
Right.
like all Peck has is a stick to
Right.
beat you.
Like my shin pads aren't as big as yours, bud. Like, come on now.
Yeah, all you have is a stick to beat him.
Yeah.
He has all those pads to
Right.
stop you, and so he should stop. Like the exception is he should.
Right.
So when
That's-
you get beat,
That's his job. That's the point of that position.
it's basically like in baseball. You literally only have to beat a pitcher one time in a game to say you won. Like if I go 0 for 5 and I come up on the 6th at bat and I go fucking yard, guess what?
Yep.
Fuck you, pitcher. I just went dinger on you.
Exactly.
You know, dingers only. That's what I do.
Exactly. And it didn't take many attempts either to finally get it. I mean,
It was your first one. Like what? It's your first one. Then you just coasted the rest of the
Yeah.
game, and so you're like, I don't need to embarrass him too bad. He's my friend.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah, got my goal. He said I wouldn't get a goal. I got my goal, and I just chilled out.
Yeah, and then Big Dad cost us championship. But I digress. We've already talked about this. But so we're gonna throw over to this interview. I'm gonna go down and award some hardware, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna finish second half of the show.
Sounds good.
You got anything you want to talk about in the second half of the show other than betting with your heart? It's called a cliffhanger. Let them know what they're going to be missing. They got to tune in.
I gotta think. I gotta think about it.
Jeff Peck will tell you his funniest locker room shower story. Here's the interview with Joe about getting a pro goalie to help him get some woman hitched to him. Here we go. Joe, take it away.
Turn it up.
If you're digging the show, support us. Patreon.com/BiggerBLPA.
The most greatest.
All right, what's up, folks? I'm here with Joe, who is a goalie, correct?
Yes, sir.
For what team?
This is the Mustin Julianos team.
Okay. We're here at the Austin Bash, having a great time. How are you guys doing out there?
It's been a great weekend. First two games are pretty tight. Last one we lost. We didn't get to be in the championship game, but everybody had a great time in the locker room, great time on the ice. I mean, anytime you get to play hockey on the weekend in a tournament with y'all, it's a great time.
Absolutely awesome. All right, so speaking of goalies, you being a goalie yourself, I just watched a video, Joe. That was pretty neat. You had a little run-in with a professional goalie of sorts. Why don't you tell us about that story?
Yeah, so this kind of goes back to me discovering hockey and falling in love with it. So I grew up in Phoenix and Mesa, Arizona. I didn't have much exposure to hockey except for playing NHL 92 on Sega. So when I moved to Round Rock, Texas in 2012, my girlfriend, now wife, she came with me, and she grew up in Colorado, so she was a big hockey fan.
Okay.
So for her birthday, when we got here, I got us tickets to a Texas Stars game, and they're the American League affiliate of the Dallas Stars. And I went to my very first live game and got hooked.
Right.
So we became season ticket holders, and the longer I kept going to the games, I fell in love with hockey and the goalie position, and specifically Jack Campbell. Really loved his style and how he was playing. And I got interested, and that's how I learned how to play hockey.
Awesome.
I wanted to be a goalie just like Jack Campbell.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so what in that video? It appears Jack gives you probably the biggest assist of your life. Why don't you go into further detail about how that came about and tell us how you were feeling during that moment?
Oh yeah, no, Jack is a huge character guy. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Jack Campbell. So when my wife and I were talking about how I was going to propose to her, her only stipulation was it has to be a total surprise. She can't see it coming.
Okay.
She didn't want a Jumbotron or anything like that. She wants something new and original and a surprise. So I had this idea of doing a proposal in my goalie gear on the ice after a game at the Texas Stars.
Okay.
So I got to meet Jack Campbell at a player meet and greet. And said, hey, I've got this idea. I'm a beer league goalie. You inspired me to put on the pads, and I'd love to propose to my girlfriend on the ice. And he said, that sounds great, man. Tell me more about it. So I give him my business card, and I have my cell phone number on it. I had a game that night. So he said, okay, cool, man, yeah, I'll shoot you a text. And sure enough, later that night, I get off the ice, and there's a text from Jack Campbell from his personal cell phone saying, all right, man, tell me more about this idea. So, yeah, that's the idea, was to, have him kind of give me an on-ice lesson.
Okay,
And
yeah.
really, that was just an excuse to get her down on the ice taking pictures.
Right.
And that's when I would give him a signal. And he would ask me, how long have we been together? Because, of course, at that point, it had been about 5 years, and she was itching for me to ask the question.
Right. So it looked like there was some people out in the stands there too. Did you say this was after a Stars game that this happened? Or?
It was. So when we planned this months in advance, we picked a date, and of course we don't know who was starting when we planned it. And
Right.
sure enough, Jack Campbell got the start. It was against the Milwaukee Admirals.
Perfect.
He won the game, first star of the game. Had to do the post-game interview in his pads. He took his chest protector off, had a shirt on. But yeah, the people that are around the glass were our Section 103 family, just a hockey friends that we're season ticket holders with, and several players from the Texas Stars. They were in on it as well, so they got changed and they came out and watched it as well.
That's awesome. Well, shout out to Jack Campbell and the Texas Stars. Where is he at these days?
Jack Campbell is he just signed a 5-year contract, $5 million per year with the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay.
So he's
5 years is five more years of just fucking losing, huh?
well, he set a new franchise record with Toronto. I mean, to set a franchise record with an original 6 teams is pretty remarkable. But the other thing about Jack that I absolutely loved too was when we were planning it, the staff of the Texas Stars originally wanted to do the proposal in the green room, but that wasn't the idea. It was like the whole on-ice deal was what's really important.
Right.
And Jack Campbell put his foot down and said, no, he wants to do it on the ice, so that's exactly what we're going to do.
Right. Well, I mean, the green room, too, I mean, that's almost a little too obvious, I think, right? I mean, that's where they go and do all, like, obviously, green room, I'm assuming, green screen and all that, and probably all the, the bull crap when they take the pictures of the players and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, what are you going to be? What are you in there for? I mean, that'd be a little too obvious. So I think the way you did it was perfect. I mean, that's awesome that you had Jack on your side with that. Great story, great video. Maybe we can get Nick to, if you don't mind, put that video up with the podcast so people can check it out and yeah, I mean that's an awesome story, man. Congratulations on that.
No, thank you. And the last point on Jack Campbell I'll make too is that I say he's a character guy. He really is. So, I got to walk down the player tunnel in my gear, take the ice. That was a surreal moment. But, I mean, my heart really started racing when I looked up and I saw this big pair of green Vaughn pads skating at me. He's got the biggest smile on his face. He goes, hey, bud, how you doing? And so we do this whole lesson, and he's shooting on me. And mind you, he still has his glove and blocker on.
Right.
That guy's stick handles and puck handles better than the guys on my beer league team. And he did me a solid. He actually didn't score on me. He rang a couple off the post, but he didn't score on me. So he made me look good in front of the misses.
Got to make you look good.
He's a great wingman.
So now what did your wife think was going on? Did she think you won like a free lesson with him, or what? And then what brought her onto the ice towards the end there?
Yeah, so I had told her that it was a season ticket holder benefit, is that I got this 15-minute on-ice session with Jack Campbell, and she was down on the ice to take pictures of us.
Oh, okay.
And so really everybody was in on except her. My ticket rep, he had the ring on him, and then when it was time for us to do a group photo with Jack, he's like, hey, Joe, can you show me how to work this camera? So I skated up to him. He handed me the ring. I put it in my goalie pants. He switched the camera to video, and she didn't know.
Perfect.
So he's holding it up, and then, the rest is history.
Well planned. I like it. All right, nice, awesome story, man. Well, so why don't we switch gears here a little bit? Tell us how long, when did you start playing with BLPA, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience playing with us here so far, and any future plans to come back to some more tournaments, and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've been in all 3 tournaments you've had here in Austin. The first one was the draft experience.
Right.
Let me tell you, that was so much fun. I love how you guys do the draft. It really does balance out the teams.
Yes, I agree.
The team aspect, the beer chugging, all of it was so exciting. My team had a great chemistry. We actually, that championship game we got to play in, we set the BLPA record for the longest shootout, 16 rounds.
That's right.
in
That
the
was
shootout
here, wasn't it? Yeah.
The first 15 rounds, no goals were scored. I unfortunately let in the one that was the game winner, but after 16 rounds,
You even got to shoot that
I did.
shootout, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I got to shoot on the goalie. He got to shoot on me. I was garbage at it, but we still had so much fun. And then you had the 2 bashes here, and even those are fun too. Even though it's bring your own team, you guys still do a great job of balancing.
Right.
So there's no real sandbagging. There's nobody really getting absolutely just blown out and killed.
Right.
So
yeah, that's no fun for anybody. So we try to do our best to limit that. Unfortunately, every now and then, you're not gonna. Obviously, you're not going to know everybody that's signing up for a tournament, so you kind of got to just take people's word for it. But we've been pretty lucky so far to have some pretty balanced tournaments, and hopefully that continues moving forward here. You going to be out here in October when we come back here for the draft experience again?
Oh, yeah. I'll be back for that draft experience. And, Nick and you guys have made a great point about the draft experience, is that it's almost better to do it away from your home rink.
It really is, because when you're home, the tournament itself still awesome. But you know what? You come, you have all that fun. When you're at your home rink, at the end of the day, you're still going back home to all your responsibilities and all the, all your chores and all that stuff. It's so much better when you go out, you make it a little mini vacation. Even if you just spend the weekend there, you're done. You get to stay in the parking lot, hang out with the boys, drink the beers, or go back to your hotel or your Airbnb and party with everybody, whatever. There's no responsibilities, just hockey and beer all weekend, and it's a completely different experience when you're away from home doing it.
Absolutely. I've made so many great friends at the draft tournament. You didn't really know any of these players beforehand, but the longer you get to spend with them, and like you said, you guys provide so much beer and drinks. It's the draft party. It really is a party. It was a heck of an experience. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Right. And you know what? On that point, I will say we have all our bashes so far. We buy a crap ton of beer. We post pictures of it. People see it when we pull up with it, and everybody's always cracking jokes like, "Oh, what is that? What is that for the first half of the day?" Indicating they're gonna drink all the beer and this and that. Austin so far is the only place that I can remember in recent history that has actually drank all the beer that we've provided. Every other place, we're hauling a few cases out of there at the end of the weekend. So shout out to Austin for drinking all our beer this weekend. It's been a great time here. It's always fun here. This facility is amazing. I was here. We were here when they first opened up, and I'd say maybe there was 25% of these businesses in here at that time. I came back here this year, and it's just, the stuff. I went outside for a food truck the other night, and there's probably about 200 people out there playing volleyball and little, I don't know what that little mini tennis game you'd call it.
I think it's pickleball.
Okay, pickleball. Not too familiar with that. But then they have a big old screen. There's an open bar, restaurant, all this stuff out there. It's absolutely crazy how this facility has transformed in the past 2 years. And it's just, is this where you play here on a regular basis, you said?
Yeah, we've got 3 rinks in Austin. This is the crossover, and I do play here, and I play at the other. I'll play at all of them. I'm a whore for hockey.
Okay. I feel you there, but I do the same back home. We have, all the rinks in Columbus are all owned by the same. It's all corporate. They're owned by Ohio Health. So they're all owned by the same place, but all the we have one big league. Your games are scheduled throughout the city, different rinks, but my particular league plays on Thursdays and Sundays, and on Sundays, the games run from like noon all the way up to 11 o'clock at night. So on any given Sunday, I could sub in 4 or 5 games in one day. I've only done it twice, and I regret it both times. But there's a lot of hockey to be played out there, so it's a lot of fun. It seems like there's some great hockey here in Austin too. I think this is the Benders here, but the All-Star division out here this weekend is some real good hockey. And when you think of the South or these hotter states like that, you wouldn't think good hockey, but there's some good hockey players down here. Absolutely, and it's growing. It's getting more and more popular. Absolutely. Well, Joe, I got to get cleaning up here, bud, but I appreciate you coming on, telling us your story, and talking with us a little bit here. It's been a great weekend with you, and I guess we'll see you in October, bud. Absolutely, and I invite all of the BLPA Nation to come to the decks here in Austin. It's fantastic. We got the best barbecue, we've got the best tacos, we got plenty of hockey, and we've got the world's largest indoor water park, also in Central Texas. If you want to bring the family and have a fun of it, check out Kalahari. It's going to be a great time in Austin. Okay. I do like some barbecue, by the way. Texas barbecue is delicious. What do you recommend for banana pudding around here? Because I love me when I get some barbecue in me, I have to follow it up with banana pudding.
That's a tough one. I fill up on the meat so much I don't even mess with the sides or desserts.
That might be more of like a Tennessee thing too. Tennessee's really popular for their banana pudding, but yeah, I love me some barbecue, so I'm gonna have to get some before I head out of here.
Awesome.
Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Turn it up.
Be a beauty. Listen, subscribe, rate,
This is
and review. Let's get it.
All right, that was the interview with old Joe. What'd you think about it? What was your favorite part of that interview, Peck?
I mean, I thought it was a great story. I was telling Joe about how I proposed to my wife, and for several years I was kind of doing the same thing, trying to come up with a unique and different way to do it. And when it came down to it, I chickened out and did it the old-fashioned way. So props to Joe for coming up with something unique like that. And I thought it was a really cool story.
Hey, if anyone out there wants to get engaged, they want to ask the lady in their life the most important question they'll ever ask her, I'm happy to be involved. All right, I'll propose to her for you. We can do it at a beer league event, maybe drop a ring in the bottom of a beer. Yeah, we'll figure something out for sure, right? Just make it real. I mean, we're beer leaguers.
Yep,
so
yep.
We'll do it up beer league style. So, well, I'm glad Joe had time to stop by. The dude is full of stories, so maybe we should have him on again sometime.
Okay.
But we just witnessed the most exciting beer league game in the history of beer league, I think.
Exciting if you're on the one side of things.
As a spectator.
Yeah.
Exciting as fuck.
Yeah, it was solid.
Listen, you remember Vegas Golden Knights' first year in the league, and they went to the playoffs, and the Sharks were just beating up them yams.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had the thing with the penalty that was called, and it gave the Sharks a power play that lasted the Knights a power play that lasted seemingly forever.
Mm-hmm.
And they scored a bunch of goals to tie it up and then went on to win it, and that was basically the turning point in the series. Just happened in the beer league championship of the Hosers game. So I believe it's the Scrubs against St. Arnold. St. Arnold's a great team. Scrubs has basically cleaned up the tournament until the championship game, but it looked like they were well on their way. I even said this one's going to runtime.
It was 4-0
after the first period, 4-0. And the second period, they had a player that he just he went had a little brain fart, threw a couple punches, and got a 5-minute major in there. And what happened? The St. Arnold's team scored 5 goals in that 5-minute major. 5.
Yep.
5 goals in 5 minutes. That's how many goals I've scored in my career. So to do it in 5 minutes is impressive as fuck. But you know what? But then the other team came back and tied it late in the third. But a minute and a half down, we're walking the trophy down there, and I'm ready for a shootout.
Yep.
I'm ready for a shootout, and a dude goes fucking top titty.
Top cheese, yeah.
Goes top titty and just crushes the dreams, the hopes and the dreams of the Scrubs. It was so, literally, when it happened, I'm like, oh, that guy just threw some punches. Oh, he's gone, okay. And then I hear, yeah. And I'm like, what is going on? That's 3 goals. And then we just stood there and watched them score the other one. So great games. Every championship game has been a one-goal game.
Very close games, yeah.
The guy that runs this thing, he does a good job putting them teams in the division. But yeah, great time. We're getting ready to go to the last game of the tournament, the All-Stars division. These guys are good hockey players. I love taking photos of them because it's just exciting because they're always, unlike people like you, Jeff, and people like me, their knees are always bent. They're always making, they're always making agile moves on the ice, and it looks cool in the photos. For us, not so much. I got to do a lot of Photoshop and a lot of culling to get good photos of us. But I'm super excited to see. I think I know who's going to win. If I'm betting with my heart, I'm going to put all my money on the Lake Amistad Pirates. And I'm doing that because the other team has been undefeated in 2 years at this tournament, and my heart says I want Lake Amistad to win.
Ooh, okay.
But on the other hand, on the other team is a guy named Taylor, and Taylor has a special place in my heart as well because whenever I started playing hockey, he worked at the rink that I was going in Oklahoma City, and he'd come out on the ice and embarrass the fuck out of us all the time. Like literally no pads, and we're like, bud, like what if you get hurt out here? He's like, I'm not gonna get hurt. What if a puck hits you? Puck ain't gonna hit me. And he just fucking skate circles around us in street clothes and make us feel like idiots.
Okay. Okay. I
So-
don't know a whole lot about either team, but based off of what you're telling me, both logic and my heart, I'm going to have to go with the team that you're saying is undefeated the past 2 years now. I mean, that's just hey, bud, my heart feeds my brain, bud. So
Listen, how can you not root for the underdogs, bud?
Well,
A bunch of military boys out in the
Yeah,
middle of nowhere with
but-
no hockey
but
rink.
you know what, bud? I would, but the amount of times that I've been the underdog and still fucking lost, I don't believe in the underdog.
So you're saying the underdogs do? You're saying it's due right now? Hell yeah! Woo! Let's go, Lake Amistad. I mean, there are a bunch of fucking flight instructors out in the middle on the Texas border. There's no goddamn ice rink anywhere in sight,
Right.
and they're out here competing with the big dogs.
Right. Okay.
And they're actually really good. A lot of them
mean-
went to Air Force Academy and played. And
Okay, that's the team. That's okay. Yeah, I do remember this team here. I watched that game, but I do remember this red team from years past, and they are really fucking good. That is a good team.
yeah, they're good. They're good. So, but anyway, that's basically what's going on here this weekend. We had a great time. I love the BLPA bashes. It sucks that the hardest thing about watching hockey is not playing the hockey.
It is.
But then the hardest thing about playing hockey is actually playing the hockey. So when I'm not playing, I wish I was playing, and when I am playing, I wish I'm not playing.
Yep.
It's just it's a weird thing. But it's been a good. The BLPA bashes are good. 'Cause there's so many more players. You get a bunch of time to bullshit with them, and that's what I like. You know, I like being out amongst the peoples. I like people seeing all the BLPA merch that people have bought before, and now they're wearing it, just representing the brand. And yeah, just doing great things. And I hope people out here come to some of our events. I hope people that are listening that haven't come to events come to events. And I hope people that have come to events before continue to come to events.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people this weekend haven't been to the decks yet, but I've talked to a few of them, and they said it sounds real interesting. So hopefully this October we'll see some new faces out there.
Yeah, that would be great, especially here at Austin, but anywhere really. Hey, let's end this podcast with one simple question. If you had to tell the people on the podcast, or let's say we're sitting in front of a group, we're giving a lecture to beer leaguers, and they want to know if they're going to one Dex this year or 2023, whatever, one Dex, which one would you choose and why?
Ooh, well, that's a loaded question. That's a tough one, just for the simple fact that they're all.
Got to pick one. Got to pick one. Don't straddle the fence, motherfucker.
But I'll get there.
Okay.
Let me get there.
Okay. Listen, you're trying to take me on a walk in the park, and I'm trying to do some sprinting.
Okay.
So.
And now we're talking just like this crowd that we're giving this lecture to. They're gonna travel to one, right? Okay, so they're not necessarily from any particular city.
Based on your recommendation, they're going to go to that one.
Okay. Well, how do you how is not Nashville not in the talks when you're talking about the top city to go to? Nashville, amazing city, especially for what we do. We're all a bunch of drunk beer leaguers. There's lots of hockey and lots of alcohol in Nashville. Lots to do in Nashville. So I think if you're going to travel to one, looking at the remainder of the schedule this year, Nashville's probably got to be at the top of your list.
Let's not say remainder of the schedule. Let's say that the slate's clean. Whichever one is your favorite one.
There's just any of them then.
Yeah, just any of them.
Well,
North America, of course.
North America.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also, before you, while you're thinking about that, because I can tell you're thinking about it. What is the best chip out there? I'm bound on some Sun Chips right now, and I think the best chips are between Sun Chips, Harvest Cheddar, Funyuns, or Cool Ranch
But
Doritos.
the French onion Sun Chips fucking slap. You ever had the French
Never
onion?
had those. No.
No? Oh,
No.
they're so good.
Are they in a green bag?
What's that?
Are they in a
the
green
bag? Yeah,
Okay.
the green bag.
The orange bag is fire. buddy.
Yeah, the orange bag is good. I'm a big fan of putting Sun Chips on my sandwiches.
Oh, you do it?
Yes,
Me too.
bud.
I love, and people look at me, it's so weird. I'm like,
You got to. You get that extra crunch that it adds to your sandwich.
I love me a
Top
crunchy
notch,
sandwich.
Top notch, bro.
I love me a crunchy sandwich, but I don't like myself crunchy peanut butter. Isn't that weird?
No. I agree with you there. Something it doesn't taste the same.
It's just a weird texture. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
just a texture guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, back to your favorite.
Well, if we're talking North America, I don't know. I mean, I think Nashville's still up in the conversation. You could definitely, just based off the simple fact that the support we have in Columbus. Obviously, that's a top spot to be. Especially this one coming up. We have the VIP party prior to the. That's Thursday night, correct?
Hey, listen. Do you think Johnny Gaudreau, if we let him know we got this VIP party, that he'll come because he broke my heart in Calgary? Like maybe we could reach out.
I mean, that there's always a chance, right? I mean,
it's always a no if you don't ask.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to ask him.
Okay. Let's do it.
Hey, John. I'll call him John.
Let's do it.
Buds. I'll say, John. Can you just show up? Can you show up to the party and we'll just hang out?
Okay. And I have a season ticket rep, so maybe that's where we start. Maybe that's our in to talk to Johnny Gaudreau about this, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. Just a diehard Flames fan. You broke my heart. I'm coming to Columbus. It's my favorite city. So listen, I'm glad you're there. We're gonna do this thing for all beer league hockey players. It's a VIP club. You want to come out and just say hi? Maybe hang out with us.
Okay.
Slam a beer or two. I'll bring Skittles and a ham and cheese sandwich.
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
Okay, so those are the two that you would say, Nashville and/or Columbus.
Yeah, for different reasons. Nashville, huge party destination for sure. Columbus, I'd say more so for the people. Obviously, Columbus and Nashville, two completely different types of cities in their own respect. But people in Columbus are awesome and very welcoming. Make a lot of new friends out that way, and then Nashville for sure, just for the party scene.
Okay, that's a fair assessment. I like that. Are you going to ask me what mine is, or are you just going to...
I just assumed that you were going to roll right into yours, Nick. Okay.
I'm trying to give it a give and go here.
Okay, I've given you mine, so why don't we hear yours?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. That's very nice of you. Thank you. We're just getting a hang of this podcast thing. Well, I mean, I live in... I like all of them. They're all my babies, really.
Right.
But I like all of them. But one of them that I would say... Because we have a lot of Americans that come to our events, and I think we're talking to Americans right now when we discuss it in this lecture hall.
Right.
I would say come to Canmore.
Okay.
Or Lake Louise, because it's basically the same place, but one's indoors, one's outdoors. Just the natural beauty in these things is just absolutely incredible. And I think people would. If you haven't been out to the mountain, like if you live in Denver, then it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But if you live like in Austin, Texas, then you come to the mountains, and it's literally it's like when you're just driving through, and you're driving through these fucking mountains, and you're just like, how the fuck are these here? Like it's absolutely mind blowing. But overall, I mean, I've said it many times before, and obviously Columbus is my favorite city. I've said that. But for my money, if I was going to one place, I would definitely, and I know Frank and Jason will hate this, Boston. I love the city of Boston. I love everything about it. The only thing I don't like about it in March is it's cold, but it's just the city is incredible. It's electric. There's so much shit to do in Boston, and I love it. I just love Boston. So I would say that would be my number one place to go. But when we talk about support and Columbus being the best, I think when you start saying the second, like most supported area is probably going to be Buffalo. And I think Buffalo's going to bring the heat there. It's what it sounds like.
Okay. It's tough to put any of the ones that we haven't been at in the mix though yet because
I know.
Just like the Canadian, I haven't been to any of the Canadian ones, although Canmore does look amazing. I'll give it that. I was quite jealous of anybody able to go to that one because I can't make it into Canada unfortunately. But
you and Dan both, bud. You and Dan both. fucking round tables, bunch full of fucking scumbags and banditos. So what are you gonna do? Holy fuck. But other than that, I mean, I just want people to come and hang out and see what we're all about.
Yeah.
And know that when they come to these, like the people you see, like me and Apec, and that you see like online, we're the same people in person. Like we're really just dumb shits.
Yep.
Dumb shit scumbags. They're just out here fucking trying to pretend like we are decent at hockey. That's basically it. And who doesn't pretend is Big Dad. He pretends he's good at it. He's not. Especially at goalie, like he basically cost us a championship.
Dude, he's trash. He's trash in the net.
Just trash. I can guarantee you, if I was playing on that opposite team, me and Jason Limbacher, we would have lit his ass up.
Well, this is the second team at a draft style tournament that he's fucked over on Sunday, bud. So
And the first one, he had 3 shutouts on Saturday.
Yep.
Maybe he's just not a pressure performer. Maybe that's what it is.
I mean, that's possible.
We
That's
talk
very
about
possible.
Sunday Tomek. We talk about Sunday Broderick, who's the opposite.
Right.
So maybe Sunday Big Dad is a thing.
That's very possible. Which, hey, I mean, more power to him because I'm not a Saturday or a Sunday anything. So
Yeah, I'm
you
a
know?
Friday. I'm a Friday Nick. All right, Friday Nick over here,
Yeah,
just out here,
yeah.
on the microphone, letting people know. But
Big
other
party
than
guy.
that- Yeah, big Friday guy right here. But other than that, guys, hey, I hope you enjoyed the interview. Hopefully we can get some more interviews going. Hopefully Jason will be back soon. Oklahoma City next weekend, and then Anchorage, Alaska, which is going to be a fucking fun one. I might bust out the old content making camera and get some stuff for Anchorage, just because it's such a unique location for us to play.
I wish I could be at that one.
I wish you could be at it too. But I'm gonna go take some photos of these all stars here, and we'll talk to you next week. You got anything to add before we go?
I do not.
All right, boy. Follow us all at the BLPA, all social media channels. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Be good or be good at it. See ya.